Welcome back to Friends with Benefits Car Club, where car news is fast, fun, and just a little bit unhinged. This week, Porsche drops a stealthy Taycan Black Edition. Toyota brings a mystery V8 to Goodwood that might be the next LFA, and Hyundai's Ioniq 6N shows up ready to drift and scream. Literally. We've got delivery vans that don't suck, Lucid breaking EV range records with gravity assist, Maserati making the MC20 even sexier with the new MCpura, and Uber saying, forget drivers, here's a robot Jaguar. So smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you never miss a ride. Let's get into it. Porsche looked at the Taycan lineup and said, you know what this needs? More black. So now we have the Taycan Black Edition with black mirror caps, black window trim, black badging, and even a black key. Goths, rejoice. But it's not just a fashion statement. This trim comes standard with the 105 kilowatt-hour performance battery plus, boosting range from 274 to 318 miles. Finally, an EV that can be moody and go the distance. It's available on the Taycan, Taycan 4 and 4S, and also includes 21-inch wheels, Matrix LED headlights, Bose audio, and Porsche crests on the headrests, because subtlety is for poor people. You also get Black Edition badging inside and out, plus access to Porsche's entire color palette at no extra charge. Yes, even though it's called Black Edition, you can paint it pink if your inner villain wears glitter, and if you're worried it only comes in black, relax. You can still spec it in any color from Porsche's Shades catalog, because nothing says limited edition like 40 optional paint codes and a matching key fob. Inside, it's more of the same, brushed aluminum door sills, a black interior package, and a sense of superiority that comes standard. The illuminated Porsche logo on the rear light strip even glows black. Is that practical?
Nope.
Is it cool?
Nope.
But it's expensive, so it doesn't matter. Pricing hasn't been announced, but expect it to be more than the $106,000 base, because darkness apparently comes at a premium. Next up, Toyota, or maybe Lexus. Honestly, we're not even sure they know. Just showed up at the Goodwood Festival of Speed with a mysterious, fully camouflaged concept that screamed two things. I have unresolved issues with the LFA. Don't ask me who I am. What we do know is this. It's long, low, front mid-engined, and sounds like a naturally aspirated V8, climbing that hill like it's chasing childhood trauma. Now, if you're an LFA purist, mourning the loss of that glorious V10, breathe. Yes, it's probably a V8. Yes, it's probably not as sonically perfect, but it's also probably the best sound we've heard from a prototype in years that isn't from a YouTube exhaust compilation. And visually, even under camo, it's giving LFA grew up, went to therapy, and started taking creatine. That long nose, short rear combo has us all thinking the same thing. This could be the halo car Toyota's been teasing ever since the Supra got a BMW engine and half the internet lost its mind. But wait, plot twist. Right next to it was another camo-wrapped monster labeled the GR concept. That one? It looks like a GT3 homologation special, fully prepped for IMSA or WEC, and ready to end the Lexus RCF's racing career with a firm handshake and a cold-blooded tire roast. And let's not ignore the timing. The Supra's sun is setting, the Lexus RC is aging out, and Toyota's racing division clearly wants a new flagship to fight Ferrari on weekends and crush group chats by Monday. Toyota's saying nothing, Lexus is saying even less. But this concept's presence at Goodwood basically screamed, pre-orders are coming. So is it Toyota? Is it Lexus? All we know is it's loud, fast, confused, and we're already emotionally attached. From the camouflaged mystery of Goodwood to something that took off its camo, cracked its knuckles, and said, let's go. Meet the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 6N, aka the first EV that looks like it's been stress vaping and watching too much Formula Drift. This isn't your average polite commuter sedan. This is an EV with rage issues. It packs a ridiculous 641 horsepower thanks to a dual motor setup with launch control that'll make your passengers question every decision that brought them into your car. But wait, Hyundai went further. It has drift mode, because obviously the one thing EVs have been missing is the ability to slide sideways through a strip mall parking lot like it's a scene from Tokyo Drift, Electric Boogaloo. And then there's N-Active Sound Plus, which is Hyundai's polite way of saying, we know EVs are quiet and you hate that, so here's a fake engine and sound that makes it feel like something's growling under the hood. You can even choose different sound profiles like ignition and supersonic jet, because nothing screams practicality like pretending your sedan is about to enter Earth's upper atmosphere. There's also NE Shift, which simulates gear shifts in an EV. You heard that right, simulated gear shifts. So you can still feel like a race car driver, even though you're technically riding one long wave of torque. The Ioniq 6N is based on the same eGMP platform as the Kia EV6 GT, but where the Kia is slick and stylish, this Hyundai feels more like a chaotic good. A car that wakes up and chooses violence. Hyundai's N division said, let's take our electric platform and give it a soul. A loud, twitchy, overly caffeinated soul. No official pricing yet, but expect it to land somewhere between this is stupid fast and this is stupid fun. And honestly, that's exactly what EVs need right now. Less zen, more zoomies. Okay, deep breath. We're stepping out of 600 plus horsepower lunacy and into something boxy, sensible, and kind of impressive. Meet the BrightDrop Zevo 600, GM's all-electric delivery van. On paper, that sounds about as thrilling as a beige cardigan, but in practice, this thing kinda slaps. Originally built for fleet duty, think FedEx, DHL, maybe your local weed dispensary. The Zevo 600 is proof that not every EV needs to drift or launch. Some just need to deliver 200 packages a day without throwing a rod or suffocating the planet. It's based on GM's Ultium platform, which means it's got solid bones. You're looking at around 250 miles of range, a low step in height to save your knees, and a driving experience that Auto Week described as surprisingly good. The steering, light and responsive. The ride, smooth and composed. The cabin, modern and intuitive. Without the usual, just be grateful it moves, fleet car jank. There are USB-C ports, cup holders, and enough tech to make a Sprinter blush. And it gets better, because GM didn't just slap some batteries on a bread box and call it a day. The Zevo 600 has serious regen braking, solid visibility, and a quiet cabin that turns your daily delivery route into a meditative journey of inner peace, or at least less road rage. Let's be honest, this isn't winning any Nürburgring lap times, but it's part of the EV revolution you don't see coming. Because while we're all busy chasing Taycan turbos and Lucid launch modes, vans like this are out there doing the real work, delivering your impulse-bought Bluetooth speaker in silence and style. So yeah, the Zevo isn't sexy, but it's smart and functional, and way more relevant than half the supercars we drool over. Plus, there's something oddly badass about a delivery van that doesn't wake up the whole neighborhood. This might be the first time in history that someone says, "You see that van?" And the correct response is, "Yeah, I kinda want one." Lucid just set a Guinness World Record for the longest drive in a production EV on a single charge. And no, it didn't involve solar panels, towing the car behind a truck, or chanting to Elon Musk under a full moon. Behind the wheel of the Lucid Air Grand Touring, London-based entrepreneur Umit Sabansi drove from St. Moritz, Switzerland to Munich, Germany, covering an insane 749 miles, that's 1,205 kilometers, without stopping to charge once. This smashes the previous record of 649 miles, and even beats Mercedes' EQX prototype, which managed 747 miles, but wasn't even a production car. Lucid did it with something you can actually buy if your bank account does CrossFit. Now, let's be real, Lucid didn't just stumble into this. The WLTP range for the Grand Touring is already a wild 596.5 miles, and the EPA rating is a still respectable 516 miles. But this drive blew both out of the water. How? Here's where it gets genius, and this is something a lot of people who don't understand EVs never mention. The car literally recharges itself going downhill. Yup, EVs use regenerative braking, which means when you coast downhill or lift off the throttle, the car captures that energy and feeds it right back into the battery like a little caffeinated hamster on a treadmill. I've tested this myself. On a trip to Vegas, I was down to dangerously low range climbing into the mountains, but on the descent back into town, I gained over 30 miles without touching a charger. No voodoo, no secret setting, just the magic of gravity plus tech. And that's exactly what Lucid leveraged here. Starting at St. Moritz, which sits at 5,910 feet above sea level, and cruising down to Munich at around 1,700 feet. They use that natural elevation drop to regenerate battery power and keep the momentum rolling. Think of it like EV hypermiling meets mountain meditation. Lucid also avoided high speeds, stuck to scenic routes and back roads, and, importantly, didn't turn off the AC, meaning this wasn't a record achieved by suffering in a sweatbox. And here's the bigger picture. As battery tech gets better, this type of range will go from Guinness level flex to just another Tuesday. We're getting to a point where, depending on your driving habits, you might go a whole month without needing to plug in. Sabansi, who also holds the record for most countries visited on a single charge in a Lucid, said this new achievement takes that journey even further, and he's not wrong. Lucid's SVP Eric Bach said this proves their technological edge. And while that sounds like a corporate brag, let's be honest, it's earned. So yeah, Lucid didn't just break the record. They broke it efficiently, comfortably, and with style, using software, aerodynamics, and physics to bend the rules of range anxiety. EV skeptics, take notes. The future isn't just coming, it's coasting downhill, recharging itself, and laughing all the way to Munich. The Maserati MC20 is officially stepping aside, and its successor, the 2026 Maserati MCpura, is here to pick up the torch. Looking sharper, louder, and like it just walked off a Milan runway in carbon fiber boots. Set to debut at the 2025 Goodwood Festival of Speed, the MCpura keeps the MC20's 3.0-litre Nettuno 5.6, still cranking out 620 horsepower and 531 lb-ft of torque, with all that energy going straight to the rear wheels through an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. Same powertrain, same fun, just wrapped in a slicker, meaner looking package. Styling updates borrow from the GT2 Stradale, with a more aggressive shark nose front grille, a redesigned rear bumper, and your choice of gloss, black, matte Myron, or carbon fiber trim. Maserati even gives you the option to add a discreet rear spoiler, or go full Need for Speed with a big boy wing. Dimensionally, it's slightly shorter than the MC20 by 2mm, which is basically the difference between flexing and hyperflexing. Inside, it's drenched in Alcantara, has Trident logos laser etched into the seats, and a new GT2 inspired steering wheel that's basically telling you to go find a racetrack. Orders open July 11th, production starts in Medellin in Q3, and while pricing isn't announced, let's be honest, this is going to be more expensive than the MC20's $250,000 base. And if you already loved the MC20, the MCpura is just that, but sexier. Welcome to the future, where your Uber pulls up with no driver, no awkward small talk, and no air freshener shaped like a tree named Arctic Blast. That's because Uber and Waymo have officially joined forces in Atlanta, launching fully autonomous Robotaxis. Yup, just fire up the Uber app like normal, request a ride, and instead of Chad in a Camry, a Jaguar I-Pace with 20 cameras and a spinning brain dome shows up to whisk you away. Waymo's been testing autonomous tech for years, and now it's hitting the real world with Uber's blessing. No steering wheel drama, no late night driver rants, just silent, efficient AI transportation that doesn't care if you're drunk, tired, or playing a 2 a.m. breakup song at full volume. And don't worry, these robotaxis aren't just creeping around parking lots. They're navigating real roads, highways, and chaos, like Atlanta traffic, which is to say, if these cars can survive that, they deserve a driver's license more than most humans. It's cool, it's terrifying. It's also a little weird when your Uber turns up and there's no one to say, hey, are you Manny? But the pros? No tipping pressure, no weird phone calls, no awkward so busy night banter. The con? If it takes a wrong turn, you can't guilt trip it into a detour for Taco Bell. Still, this is where ride sharing is going. No drivers, no delays, just you, the car, and a whole lot of sensors watching your every move. And let's be honest, it was only a matter of time. And that's a wrap for this week's ride through the wild world of horsepower, pixels, and electric flexing. We had blacked out Taycans, V8 powered mysteries, a Hyundai that wants to fight you, a delivery van that's too good for its own job, a Lucid that broke a war record and your EV insecurities, a Maserati that just got hotter somehow, and Uber Robotaxis that are officially one step away from asking for 5 stars in binary. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. We can take it. Drop a comment below and let us know which story shocked you the most, and if you want to catch up on previous episodes, I'll leave them up up on the screen for you. Seriously, thank you for watching all the way to the end. It means the world to us. Whether you're here for the laughs, the news, or just to hang out, you're part of the Friends with Benefits family. As always, thanks for joining us on this ride. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep driving, and remember, if the car you're driving doesn't make you feel like a superhero, you're driving the wrong one. Friends with Benefits, driving off.